Hey everyone, it's Corin and welcome to Corin's Open Book Podcast. This is going to be episode 1 2.0. I believe that I got very emotional in that episode and I wanted to come back and just give a more collected version of an introduction to the podcast for those people that didn't have the time to listen to my almost 30-minute intro podcast. So first, my name is Corin. I'm 26 years old, born May 5th, 1995. I recently had a birthday a little over a month ago, and it was an amazing one because I took a great step in moving into my first apartment on my own, just me and my dog. It was an amazing first step forward. I'm from the DMV area, from Maryland. I'm a Marylander. My profession is a first responder, and my hobbies include content creation, which include advice, discussions, music, photography, podcasting, videography, and more. I also like to solo travel. I like to spend time with animals. I enjoy animals. And I like to reconnect with nature when I have free time too. I feel very at ease in the midst of nature because I am a earth sign. I'm a Taurus. What is this podcast going to be about? It's me opening up about my life, being raw without being messy, protecting my loved ones while still speaking my truth. I hope to leave this podcast series leaving everything out on the table. You knowing me knowing me, and me being healed and being able to move forward afterwards. I think that oftentimes many of us don't ever get to tell our truth. And because I'm alone and I'm able to tell my truth, there's no one here that can stop me from speaking what I felt I experienced, and essentially my truth. Now, there are other sides to the story, which is why I said my truth and not the truth. And will I ever be able to speak from the other person's perspective? No. But I may have some guests on in the future so that they're able to speak from different perspectives of their life. Because this is my open book podcast, the main portion of the podcast will be me speaking about my life, me giving advice, me creating discussions, because I'm in my mind and this is how I think, how I feel. And I don't expect everyone to agree. I don't expect everyone to enjoy the podcast. I just expect people to listen with open ears and hope to gain an understanding of who I am and hopefully learn something about themselves in the process. I'm sharing my life story in hopes that maybe I could connect with other people with a similar life story, a different life story, or that can just understand. You don't have to like it, you don't have to like what I'm saying, but just listen to understand and not to fight me on whatever issues that you have with what I'm saying. I think in this world today, we're oftentimes trying to fight every little nuance and not letting a person just live in their truth. And I'm an imperfect person, so I have to live in my truth. And I found when I tried to live in facades, tried to live in perfection, I was unable to live up to that expectation. So I hope that episode 1 2.0 gives a little bit more insight on who I am briefly and what the podcast is going to be about. My last podcast turned into almost a vent session of me just dumping a lot of my emotions out there. But I wanted that episode to go out because it was me. Anybody that talks to me, if we end up on the phone for longer than an hour or in person for longer than an hour, you're probably going to cry at some point, or we're going to have a heated discussion. But that is just how I am. Like, I don't like to talk about surface level stuff because it gets us nowhere. Hey, how you doing is for public spaces, the office, stuff like that. But when you're able to connect with people on the ground, you're here on earth with them, or you're on the phone with them, or you're just able to spend time with them, dive deep, because you never know what a person is going through and how much they may need to release, how much you all need to talk about things. Sometimes you may even need to apologize or just get things off your chest. But if you stay on that surface level relationship, you'll never dive deep. And that's what this podcast is about, diving deep. I want to thank you so much for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this podcast. I hope you check it out the next episode. And I just want to leave you with some words of encouragement. Whatever it is that you have been pushing off, do it. I have been pushing off recording this second episode 1 2.0, and I just did it. And I want you to do what you've been pushing off. And that thing that you're pushing off, when it's done with, you'll feel relieved. Bye, everyone.